Welcome to another Paranormal Highway. Today, we're going to talk about Gettysburg. I got some videos of Gettysburg, but in the middle of the show, I will tell you guys my personal story that happened to me and my brother at Gettysburg. Some of you might already know the story, some of you might have never heard the story. The story I'm going to tell you, it's going to sound unbelievable. It's going to sound, and some of you might think there's no way that that could be true when you hear the story. When you hear this story, and I don't blame none of you. There's a reasons why I don't even really talk about this Gettysburg story when I'm about to tell you in the middle of the show. So in the beginning, I got Anthony, I got Ron, I got some videos of some ghost footages that supposedly be in Gettysburg. We're going to evaluate, but then when everybody's in, I'll tell you the story and I'll see what you guys think. So after the intro, we're all going to come up and this is going to be a pure Gettysburg show. All right. Can't wait to talk to you guys. Actually, I am talking to you guys in person. I'm right here. So here we go.
Yo, Eric, we're over here on the Paranormal Hunt, and I headed over to this other building, and it's number 13. I was just telling Ron, my God.
Now, before I start playing some Gettysburg videos, and before I'll tell you guys my personal Gettysburg story that's going to sound unbelievable, and I get it. Trust me, I get it. But there's a little trailer that we're going to play that's coming up on Anthony's channel. And I'll have Anthony explain it better because, he's the man behind it. And then I'll play the trailer. So, Anthony, this trailer I'm about to show them, you want to say any intro before I show it, or just play it?
Sure. This Sunday on Unidentified S4, basically, I broke that Tom Warner from the Berkshire UFO incident was a liar. And upon doing my investigating, Tom Reed came out to expose Mr. Warner along with Kevin Titus. As you all know, Kevin Titus was the judge for the Berkshire UFO incident. He signed off that it was 100% true and credible. And then they got the UFO Monument Park, and the governor signed off on it being a true event that happened. But this guy, Tom Warner, they're doing a movie called The Bridge, and he sat down with the producer, screenwriter for this, and this will be in the movie theater. Warner Brothers is doing it. And he sat down with the producers, and he actually told them that he fabricated his whole story to write a book. And the way he found out about this was he was answering phones at the Berkshire UFO Museum, and people were asking for Tom Reed and his story, and he started getting bits and pieces from the story. And being that he lived there when he was a little boy, like 2-3 years old, he started adding himself into the mix. But a lot of people are coming out to out him that the incident actually happened. That'll be this Sunday, but I'm going to play a little trailer for everyone just to warm you up, to let you know what's going on. Here we go.
To discuss the so-called flying saucers.
The flying saucer mystery makes headlines.
Flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
Our government has lied about UFO information. We've also heard from scientists who say life elsewhere in the universe is virtually a certainty.
Area 51, that mysterious corner of the Nevada test site.
What's going on up there could be the most important event in history.
The U.S. Navy has finally acknowledged that videos appearing to show UFOs flying through the air are real.
It's not a helicopter. There's no propulsion. There's no wings. It rapidly accelerates and disappears. Like
This is technology that doesn't even exist.
UFOs? Any UFOs?
Certainly asked about it.
And?
Can't tell you. Sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Anthony Essaplair reporting for Unidentified S4 YouTube channel. And this Sunday, do I have a show for you? We are going to be investigating the 1969 Berkshire UFO incident. And this is not just any old investigation. We're checking into allegations of fraud. That's right. It has been brought to my attention that Mr. Warner, one of the alleged abductee contactees of the 1969 Berkshire Sheffield UFO incident, has been lying to everyone about his claims. After doing some investigating, I've noticed some major discrepancies myself, but I'm not the only one. Joining me will be Tom Reed, who is known for the 1969 Berkshire UFO incident. He's also known for UFO Expo and UFO Park. He will be one of my panelists that will discuss what he knows about this very incident. I will also be joined by Kevin Titus and Steve Bonds. Kevin Titus was also an experiencer back in 1969 during the Sheffield incident, and Steve Bonds is a producer, writer that will be joining us. He is getting ready to work on the production, The Bridge, about this very incident. We also have a reporter joining us, Miss Rivera, that will be live in the chat and then up on the panel to ask questions while we are live. This will not be an episode you want to miss, folks. If you want to know what's really going on in the UFO community, please join us here on Unidentified S4 this Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm Anthony Essaplair reporting live from Staten Island. I will see you on Sunday, friends.
Thank you for watching.
All right, so thank you, Eric. Thanks.
Oh, that looks exciting. That looks real exciting.
This is a big deal, and you know, the three of us, and Steve Cambion as well, we're always out there for truth and going after the people that are doing wrong to all of you in the community, because we all spend money to support these people that tell us these stories if we find them fascinating. And if we could get one last fraud out of the community, that's better for all of us. All right.
All right. Now, Gettysburg. Gettysburg always holds a special part in my life, and I'll tell you guys why. I have lived all over the United States of America. I was born in Fresno, California. I was raised in Fresno. I moved to Washington, joined the military, Coast Guard. I lived in Cape May, New Jersey for a while.
Oh, Cape May is beautiful, man.
Yep. And of course, on the East Coast, where I met, of course, my wife. My wife's the East Coast. She's a New Yorker. So, for a while, I lived in upstate New York, Cortland, New York, up by Syracuse. Then, of course, we would move back to Washington because we figured, Actually, I took my wife a little bit to Fresno. They didn't really understand Fresno too much because you live upstate New York and you go to Fresno, flat, hot, desert town. It is a total different shock. So we moved to Washington. But in 2006, I worked for the cable company. And, of course, I wanted to be a supervisor. I wanted to be a manager for cable companies. But now the thing is about cable companies, it's not like there's a huge openings for supervisor managers, because when you think about the cable field, you really only have most cities. Some are different. One cable company and or DirecTV or Dish. Okay, so you only really got, like here in Seattle, you only have Comcast and there is Wave, so there's two of them, but most cities only have one. So the opportunity, a lot of times you gotta go to it. So in a town called Frederick, Maryland, I moved to Frederick, Maryland because there's a cable company at that time called Adelphia, which was being bought out by Comcast. So their idea was, let's hire a Comcast supervisor so we can start to start showing their people the Comcast way, I guess. So that was the way I got in. So I moved from Washington to Maryland, Frederick, Maryland, which was fine with the wife because it was only 5.5 hours away from her home in New York. So, it was a way for her to move to Frederick. Now, I don't know if anybody's been to Frederick, Maryland. I didn't like the town. But about 30 miles away, I don't know, give or take, there was Gettysburg. Gettysburg was right there. Because I did not like Frederick. When it was my day off, we always went to Gettysburg. It was like Gettysburg, like the only coolest place to go to be honest with you, because even Washington, D.C., that wasn't far, or Baltimore, I thought Baltimore was the ugliest city I ever seen. And I thought Washington, D.C., everything I saw on TV, Washington, D.C., thinking it's a beautiful city. It's really not. It's garbage everywhere. I was like, my God, this is where the president lives? If they can't clean up their own town, how are they going to clean up America? So we always went to Frederick. We always went to Gettysburg. We decided to move back to Seattle a year later, but we almost if we're going to stay, we almost bought a place in Gettysburg because that was a nicer place to live. I love everybody wore those Civil War suits like all year round. I mean, it was just like
reenactment people, Civil War reenactment people.
Just the workers in the stores, regular.
Oh, really?
A lot of them. Not every one of them, but a lot of them wore their outfits. It was like part of the store. So the whole environment was just great. Because if you love history, I don't know how you cannot like Gettysburg. Besides the ghost stories, the history is just marvelous, and the battlefields out there. I mean, it was just beautiful. So before, in the middle of the show, I'll get to my story on what happened one day in Gettysburg that it's probably a lot of people are going to be like, what? That can't be true. And it's going to be up to you if you want to believe it or not. Before we get there, here's some videos of famous ghost sightings that if you want to say they're real or not, that's up to you. I'm never here to say this is real footage or not because we don't know. We weren't there. We were shooting it. A lot of these footages we're learning, especially nowadays. Anthony was telling you, we're learning a lot of things are being frauds, are being fakes.
Yeah, Tom Warner.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I am not here saying every video I'm showing here is supposed to be real because most likely they're not. But maybe one of those are. Who am I to say? So the first one I'm going to play is, let me get it up here. It's called Smoky Moment. Ghost appears to run across Gettysburg. So let's take a look at this one. I don't know if you guys seen that. It was on the right next to the guns.
Yeah.
Terry Brown, they do have a great baseball park. I actually went to a double A. It's not a triple A. I think it's our single A baseball team in Frederick.
Does he even know he captured that? Or he's not aware yet? I don't even think he realizes he caught that yet.
Yeah, here. We're going to play it again.
And it starts right in the beginning. You can see it moving across the field.
Yeah.
So everybody right now, I'm playing the part. Now, everybody, if you missed it, look towards the right. Look at the grass and look at the cannons. And you'll see the white thing start to move. Purgatory Place wrote, oh, this one. It's water or something on their windshield.
I don't know.
Well, let's take a look. Everybody, let's take a look. I'm going to make this even bigger. So let's take a look.
what she's saying.
Yeah, I see what you're saying too.
Yep.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not here to say this is real or not. I'm just showing you footages that are floating around.
What is that
on
that
Gettysburg.
appeared? Look at this, and right now you got to pause in between the cannons there. What is? It looks like a little tag in between the two cannons. You see it? That appeared as you played. Hit play.
I'm going back a little bit.
There it is, right there. Is that part of? Oh, it's a monument telling you what it's about. I see it.
Yes, there's monuments all over Gettysburg of the areas, what happened there, what's.
Hey, Ron, didn't we have one like this where the guy came out from in between the two cannons? A similar one?
Yeah, I think you've seen that on Ghost Adventures.
Yeah, you and I played it one time.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, actually, we had a bunch of them.
Was it different from this one? Was it the same one, or was it? I thought the guy came out from in between the cannons. He was in like the Civil War jacket. He had no legs.
Oh,
No, I think
I think I know which one you're talking about, and I think I got that one in one of these videos.
Oh, cool, yeah.
I think I got that one. Like I said, I got several videos. Then I'll tell people the story. I thought, let me see here. This next video is, I think this is just a guy telling a story because I like to hear everything. So this is not like, this might not be an actual footage of a ghost on this one. This is a guy telling some history. I love history of things. That's just the way I am. Here we go. Battlefield curse. The triangle field.
Wow, look at that, man.
We are at Devil's Den in Gettysburg, and I'm standing in the triangular-shaped field. We actually have the camera outside the triangular-shaped field for fear that the camera will have a problem and not be able to process the image if it comes into the field. For whatever reason, you know, ghost stories are very popular around the Gettysburg battlefield. And, you know, at the height of it, maybe like in 2013, there were like 13 different companies in town that were running ghost tours. I think as a tour guide, we're fortunate that in 1915, a rule was established that only allowed licensed guides to do tours of the battlefield. So this is probably not something that's well known, but the ghost tours are not allowed on the battlefield. And so that for that reason, the town is filled with ghosts, but there are very few ghosts on the battlefield.
And let me tell you guys something. Now, I do have a video of a ghost tour on here. And the reason I'm going to be showing that later is because that's the ghost tour I was on. And he's right, because I remember we're taking us on a ghost tour that they took us to where you could see the field, but I never thought about it at that time. We never was able to walk on the grass with the guy. So I guess it makes sense. But of course, any investigator is going to go behind the scenes and go out there. And they're not going to tell you that they're there to look for ghosts. But technically, if you're there doing a ghost investigation and you don't have a license, you get fined.
What?
You got to have a license.
Have a license?
I don't know how it is now, if it's like that now, but during that time, yeah, you're not supposed to, like you said, it's you got to have a license.
But a lot of people do come out onto the field and look for ghosts, and they hear these stories, and there's book after book with story after story. Most of the stories, I should mention, didn't even come about until the late 1980s. Prior to that, there were very few, if any, true ghost stories on the battlefield.
Real quick. Even Purgatory is backing this up. Also, certain tour companies can only go to certain places. Yeah, they're not even allowed to go everywhere. So just a little thing, just so people know that if you're going to go to Gettysburg and you're planning to do these tours can't go everywhere. But they're still fun. They're still fun.
When I was young, I never heard anything about ghosts on the battlefield. But, you know, I wrote a book called Devil's Den, and I get a lot of fan mail. And let's see what year it is. In 1998, I got a letter that came through Thomas Publications, and it's just fascinating to me. And so I'll read it. I still own the original envelope in the letter. And it basically says, it had my name on the envelope, but it says, "To whom it may concern. We came to Devil's Den in July 1998, and we came for the first time. We loved it. this little chip of rock, like chip of rock, what are they talking about? And in the envelope, there's a chip of rock. This little chip of rock I took from the triangle close to the Devil's Den. Since we have taken this, bad things have been happening to us. The last straw for us was last night when somebody hit our 1995 Taurus and demolished the back door. I ask that whomever gets this letter, please take this rock back to the triangle. It will be bad luck. Forever cursed, Anonymous. Now I can see from the postmark that they live in Sullivan, Indiana. And here we are today in 2021. And I think for the first time, I am actually going to return the rock to the field. Now, you know, since I've gotten the rock in the mail, I've had extraordinarily good luck. And all my good luck is due to me saving the rock. So I'm really sorry that the people continue to have bad luck who sent this to me, but it's one of my prized possessions.
But let me say something.
I think that's messed up that somebody sent that guy the rock to put back, and he ended up keeping it. He could have taken another rock.
How many stories, Anthony and Ron, you guys have heard of people disturbing something somewhere else or taking something that was attached to a ghost and they brought it back? You hear that story all the time.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's a douche. Put the rock back for the guy and pick up another one.
Yeah, and then like it's okay if you're gonna be a douche is one thing, but then he's taunted them. Like
Yeah. Like, no, I'm just gonna keep it.
Yeah.
You know what? I didn't think about that.
Snack.
I didn't think about that. You're right. You got something haunted, so instead of you taking it back, you sent it to somebody else to do it for you.
But the poor person that mailed it to him is like, please, put this back so, all this heartache and torment going on in my house can stop. Please put it back to me. He's like, nah, screw you. I'm keeping it. It's giving me good luck. That's so messed up.
Look at what Danny said.
What do you say? I laugh out loud. I would love if somebody threw a rock in there. But if you think about it, if I had something that I believe that was possessed, an item, I would feel, this is just me, that I would have to be the one to return it, not somebody else.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. I mean, you took it, right? In order to try and break the curse, you would have to try and make amends, I would assume.
Now, you and Ron yourself, when you guys went on your paranormal investigation, you guys found something and took it to your house, right?
Yeah, I have it over here.
I'm just asking, by eating chance, Anthony, the things you guys took?
Some pottery and I didn't take any. He wanted to give me. I said, and then I went. I put it back. I said, I'm not bringing anything home with me. I don't want to take a chance.
So, Anthony, the thing you took, did you experience anything extra after that?
We dug up these old pieces of pottery and old pieces of hand painted pottery from under the old houses from the 1800s. Did I experience anything? The strangest thing was the things that are going on in my niece's bedroom. Like I hear somebody walk up the stairs in the middle of the night and then come back down. I had that happen twice now, and I had a picture in her room off the wall get thrown off into the hallway, and I hear her talking in her sleep all the time. It sounds like she's talking to somebody. I don't know if she's just a deep sleep and she talks in her sleep, or she's connected to. I don't know. I don't know, but it's nothing evil or anything like that,
And Judy Wheeler, I agree with you. If you took it, then you have to do it. You have to. Yeah, I believe 100%. If you feel that something you took is possessed, you should be the one taking it back.
Indeed, Judy.
I ain't afraid of no ghost. Grow up. I mean, hey, listen. If the guy's telling a real story and he's telling the truth, that the rock, I can understand why he wanted it back. Now I don't know how far Indiana is from Gettysburg, but
that good ride, I would say, good 7 to 10 hours, I would assume.
Yeah, it's like that, probably.
Yeah,
we'll look that up. Why not?
Well, this next video that I'm gonna play is called "Ghost of Gettysburg: Haunted Civil War." Doesn't really, it doesn't tell you a whole lot because there you go. Well, let's check out this one.
8 hours and 30 minutes.
Early morning at Gettysburg is the best time to see the battlefield, I think. Quiet, serene. But don't be alarmed if you get that "I'm not alone" feeling. Thousands of men lost their lives in a brutal fashion in the Battle of Gettysburg. And it's been rumored for many years that their spirits, at least some of them, are still there today. That might explain the booming paranormal business in the town of Gettysburg. But the granddaddy of them all is Mark Nesbitt's Ghost of Gettysburg. When you first walk into their office, you get the feeling of walking into another crafts shop. But if you look a little closer, you soon realize why they were voted the #1 ghost tour in the world. They literally wrote the book, so why not? We signed up for that night, their famous Carlisle Street Ghost Tour.
We're getting ready to go on the Mark Nesbitt Ghost of Gettysburg tour. There's supposed to be 7 of us on the tour, so right now just Colin and myself. So if the other ones are brave enough to show up, we'll get underway.
Our group is finally formed and we gather in the courtyard to meet Sandy, our guide for the evening. She quickly grabs our attention with a little history lesson, a few ghost stories, and basically what to expect that night. And soon, we're on our way. We stop along the way at different sites and are treated to tidbits of history as we make our way to our destination, Gettysburg College. For an hour and a half, Sandy amazed us with stories of ghost sightings and ghost hauntings, both past and present. From the very beginning, you're hooked. It's part history, part paranormal. And I guarantee you'll be talking about this tour long after it's over. And as the tour wrapped up in the center of Gettysburg, it struck me. When was the last time you saw 7 teenagers completely mesmerized without one Xbox? Can you think of a better endorsement? A ghost tour is the perfect ending to your Gettysburg vacation.
Now, I'm not here to sell anybody ghost tours. That's up to an individual person, but I'll just tell you from the personal experience of the ghost tour in Gettysburg, it was cool because they did tell you the actual history first. The actual history, the shootings, people who have died. Then once they tell you the actual story, then they kind of tell you the phenomenon that people have seen after the person died or not.
That looked just like historic Richmond Town, right, Ron?
Yeah.
The building where the lady came out.
Yep.
That really resembled that.
Now, the only thing I would say could be interesting is they took us not on the field. Now I learned, why we need to go actually into the field because they weren't allowed to. Now, while the guy was telling the story, I didn't see this, but my nephew and my son was there with my brother, with the group. And then looking down the field, my nephew goes, "Hey, look, there's a man in uniform just walking right there." Now, my son says he's seen it too, but I don't know if he said that bit just because my nephew's seen it. I don't know. Now, we didn't see it, but there's stories that young kids can see more than we can because their mind, their brain, they're still growing, they're still developing. So with a grain of salt, I can't verify what he saw, but he swear it was a person in a uniform.
A lot of people have claimed that. And I mean, there's a lot of videos out there that some, and some of the videos I think are maybe like that other one before, could be water, whatever, on the windshield. But there's people that are just, you can tell when people are normal, like normal being in the sense of they're with their family and they're just talking and they got people like they're filming their family and then something in the background they catch and somebody points it out later. There's a lot of them out there like that. I mean, I think there's something going on over there. Why not? Some residual energy or something.
I did like our tour guide. He was a guy and he was like, "Hey, we're not supposed to go in this one house, but we're going to go in there anyway." Don't know if that's an act or not, but he supposedly took us some places that they're not allowed to, but I don't know. But what was cool is we went a week, the week before 4th of July. So they were doing a lot of fireworks shows for whatever reason. And it was just so cool. You're hearing these stories, right? And you're hearing the fireworks, and it kind of makes you feel like you were there, at the war. So a recommendation, find out if they're doing fireworks in the week of 4th of July and go do a ghost story while they're shooting the fireworks. It just, I don't know, man.
Amps it up.
It brings out the environment.
Amps
And
up the energy.
maybe that's what triggered my nephew to see a ghost, because the sounds of the explosions, it could be like almost like the ghost is reenacting.
Yeah.
Who am I to say? And all that.
But Judy's right. She said it's the saddest property on the planet. And because I was looking before when you had emailed me, I have somewhere a lot of the pictures that I got from an archive. But there's that one where you see all the dead soldiers like laying on the field and everything.
Piled up?
Not piled up. This one is spread out. I'm going to send it to you, Eric, in case you want to show it. It's nothing gory or nothing like that.
Send it to me.
Yeah,
and
you know what I'll
show
do?
it.
I'll just
after
open
this.
it and share my screen. I'll just do it that way. It's easier.
Yeah.
Window. Yeah. Like that.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. That's all I'm like, and this goes on and on and on like that. And this is just one part of it. And so there would be no wonder why there would be some kind of
residual
energy or something there, There's
What
a
a
lot
shame,
of
man.
death.
That's the thing. There's a lot of chances for ghosts to be there.
And I always get the feeling like history is going to repeat itself, especially the way the country is so divided today. You know what I mean? I could see something like this definitely happening again.
Look at all the. I figured I'd take a snapshot of this for you, Eric. This is like in Gettysburg. It shows all the tours and all the things you could go to out there.
I got
and
quite.
That's just some.
Oh yeah. It is something. And of course, I'll get more into it on what happened to us at Gettysburg. Now, I will get into that, but I'm going to play this next video. It's a news story. It's called Beware Here is Look into one of the most haunted inns at Gettysburg. So let me get this up. Open.
Haunted hay rides, ghost tours, Pennsylvania has it all this month. Tonight, we explore the eerie history of the Farnsworth House in Gettysburg. Fox 43 photojournalist Corey Asperl descends into the cellar beneath one of the most haunted inns in the U.S.
Just about every place in this house, you can have some kind of experience.
Been plenty of carnage and death that has occurred within these walls and under this roof. And it was an integral part of the Battle of Gettysburg. The upper part of the house was taken over by squads of Confederate sharpshooters during the battle. And down here in the cellar, partially used as a morgue.
I was upstairs doing a tour one night, and I had a group of people. There was a boy, a 15-year-old boy, who was sitting in that back corner, and he started to take pictures all over the attic. One of the pictures, he stopped me while I was doing my talk, and he said, Miss Tiffany, I think you really want to look at this picture. And he said, well, I did. He said, it's a little dot. I thought it was an orb until I zoomed in on it. And when he zoomed in on it, it was actually a picture of a gloved hand, like uniform. One thing over the past couple of years that a lot of people like to come to this house for is the haunted, rather large mirror. And people stand in front of that mirror and they take pictures. I've had 2 pictures that folks on the tours have gotten of a face in that mirror. One of an obvious man and one that we're still trying to determine if it was a man or a woman. We also have a ghost cat. And interestingly, down here, I did have a...
You're talking about that face one?
Yeah, man.
Here.
Not that one. The next
That's
one.
Freddy Krueger.
You saw that face run of that thing? Freaky.
What is in that one? The next when you go on.
It's got to be after this one.
Yeah,
an obvious man, and one that
There
we're
it
still
is.
trying to determine if it was.
Looks like the hills have eyes guy. Or something.
Yes. Yes, bro. It looks like one of those mutant people, right?
Yeah.
That is sick.
Ugh.
Actually, I'm looking. It looks like one of those ice people from Game of Thrones that walks the ice.
Oh, an Ice Walker, White Walker.
Ice Walker.
But look how it's got like you could see light reflecting off its head. That's what makes me think it's an actual person. Because like, look at me right now. I got these bright lights on me. It's reflecting off my head, and
look how thick his neck is. Like,
look at the girth of it. Look at those ears, man. He looks like an Ewok.
Oh,
that's one ugly dude.
A man or a woman. We also have a ghost cat. And interestingly, down here, I did have a husband and wife who were sitting in the back of the cellar and they were taking selfies. And in one of the selfies, the husband said, it looks like there's a cat sitting on my wife's shoulder. We looked at the picture and sure enough, you can see a cat on the wife's shoulder looking at the husband. You can see right through him. Generally, a lot of times people will feel our ghost cat rubbing, against their leg, their ankle, like, he wants to be pet. You can come to this house and pretty much visit any of the rooms, and you're going to take a good chance on seeing something, feeling something, or smelling something, because there's many ways of experiencing something paranormal.
And not just that place. I mean, all the death that's happened there. You can have an experience.
Let me ask you guys, everybody in the chat as well. Have you ever been home alone, sitting on your couch, just watching a regular movie, and all of a sudden you get a feeling on the top of your head, very lightly, like somebody's like touching your head softly like that? Have you guys ever had that experience? Yeah, that is the freakiest experience. Because you're saying to yourself in your head, like, you don't want to move and act like an idiot, but like, I know something just touched my head. That's like, I wonder why that happens. That's the weirdest thing. I always think, is it a loved one trying to get my attention to something like that?
Well, Anthony, I've
gotten that before, followed by like, when you get the goosebumps that go down, followed by that. It's crazy. Yeah, definitely.
I'll tell you this. I think I told this long time ago. There was a time at night, middle of the night, myself and the dog's on the couch, and I felt like you're talking about, but then my dog went and stared at the kitchen and just started barking after the feeling. Didn't see nothing there, but it was just kind of like, felt like you're like what you're talking about. Then all of a sudden the dog is looking in the kitchen and barking like at the same time.
Another freaky thing that happens to me a lot is I'm watching TV. Ron, you know how my living room is, and you come up. I have I have a bunch of nice brick steps you come up to, and then you got to come in the house and you come up 2 wood stairs, and there's like a little open area there before you go up to the next level. And my couch is to the left, and I'm sitting there watching TV, and on that wall all the time, I'll literally see a black shadow figure stop onto that wall. You literally see the shadow do this and then go up the stairs. It happens all the time. And now that I think I let it know that I see it, it really lets me know when it's there. Like it'll stop and look at, my direction and then look back and go back up. But it's just an all black shadow figure on the wall. It's like a shadow walking, basically. It's freaky.
Yeah. I had that in Queens, in Maspeth, in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that shadow there.
Strange.
But now I got something else here. I don't know what the heck that is.
It's so strange.
I'm going to show one more video, then I'll tell you guys my story. Now, this is the video of, I think, what Anthony was talking about in the beginning of the show about this person standing next to the gunner. This might be the one you're talking about, Anthony.
Okay.
So let me get that up, and then I'll go into my story. Okay, let me pull up Gettysburg Civil War ghost.
Seeing right now. No way there's a guy out here at 2 a.m.
Can you get the light on it? Is that a bird? Come on. Is it like a wax statue?
He's not moving at all.
Is that the one you're talking about?
No, I never seen this one.
I never seen this.
That looks like a regular dude, though.
It could be.
Yeah.
It could be. It could be totally fake. Because, like you said, if that was really something, I would think they would keep the camera going and somebody will walk to it, or maybe.
Yeah, Ron and I would have been like, "Yo, buddy, over here a minute. Hey, no, yeah, you."
At
Dress
least
up.
honk the horn or
selfie
something,
with him.
right? Honk the horn, roll down your window saying, "Hey, are you all right?"
Hit him with that rock that other guy had. Hey, you.
And they too calm.
So I mean, it does look too real, but
Nah, that's a real dude sitting there dressed up.
That
But
or
what
a
were those
mannequin,
lights that
something.
were out there? You saw the lights flash out there in the woods?
Yeah, I mean, it's just too solid. Everything, the neckline, everything is just so solid.
Rewind a little bit, Eric, real quick. Never mind him. Right there. Right there. Oh, I'm going back. See the red and white light to the left?
oh yeah, above it.
There it goes right there. See those lights? Now, what was that? Because there's no roads out there. That's just all open woods, all open land. That was more interesting than the guy.
Yeah, right.
Cars going by, lots of roads out there. Oh, are there? I thought it was just from all the daytime pictures I've seen. I never seen any by the cannons. Oh, actually,
Oh, yeah,
yes. Now that I'm thinking about it, there is that winding road that goes down. By
There's a bunch of roads. I mean, there's a bunch of roads. There's different directions of the park you could go to.
That's right.
There's
And they let you drive on there all the way through?
yeah, the roads go all the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no gate. I don't remember any gates ever being locked out of anywhere.
That's
know.
pretty freaky driving through there at night, I would say, right?
Well, it's completely dark.
Imagine driving through there alone at night?
I mean, it's
Screw
dark
that.
out there. It's dark out there.
I
Now-
don't think they allow you on the grounds, the battlegrounds at night.
No, you're not supposed to. No, you get in trouble.
Why is that?
A lot of parks anywhere, even cities, some parks you're not allowed to be there at night. There are roads through battlefields. You can do a self-guided tour with an app. It's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's roads. You can be on those roads.
I
I
would
never
like-
went on a road where it was locked. You can't go into.
I'd like to go with Cynthia at Purgatory Paranormal with one of her spirit boxes and drive through there. She's
Yeah.
got those spirit box radios.
Oh yeah, I'm purchasing one from her.
Are you?
Yeah, we're talking through an email. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, we're making a deal. Now, I'll tell you guys my Gettysburg paranormal story, and you guys could take this with a grain of salt. Like I said,
Liar. No.
Fraud.
like I said, we've always go to Gettysburg because Frederick. If anybody lives in Frederick, I apologize to you. I'm sorry. I hate the town. I hate it. I hate it. I'm sorry. The mall
Not
sucks.
just like it, he hates it.
There's
The
a reason
mall
why
sucks. He don't want
this
to
is the
come
reason
back.
why we moved back to Washington. Like I
Well, because
actually
of
my
you,
kids,
Frederick.
my kid never liked the school there. They were mean to him. I don't know if they
Nothing good, huh?
didn't
Not
like
even-
outsiders or not.
No good restaurants, nothing.
I mean, they had your normal restaurants. Actually, there's a restaurant that I never knew they had. I guess it's the East Coast fast food chain, Roy Rogers. I never knew there was a Roy Rogers.
Oh yeah, Roy Rogers.
So I actually went to Roy Rogers one time and got like the chicken there. I was like, oh, this sucks. So maybe that's why there's no Roy Rogers on the West Coast.
Ron, remember Roy Rogers, Sabaros? They all used to be together.
God, yeah.
Remember that?
But here's our story, my story to Gettysburg. So
Going
when we
back,
go to
right?
Gettysburg, when we go to Gettysburg, we always go Sunday morning. Always go Sunday morning because a lot of times on Sundays, there's a big, huge church following in this town. A lot of people go to church. So less people in the Gettysburg in the morning because a lot of people are at church. So that's why we go Sunday. You know, I don't like big crowds. I want less crowds. So let me give you the year and the date here. I actually wrote it down. So it was back in it was 2006. I moved there like in March. Now my wife at the time was staying in Washington because the kids are still in school. So she was going to go out there until the summer when the kids are out of school. We didn't want to pull the kids out. You know, we just didn't want to. And of course, you got to do, you know, it takes a lot to move. Ron would tell you, especially cross country. It takes a lot to move. So I was living in Gettysburg by myself. Then my brother took a job at the Smithsonian Museum in Washington, D.C. You know, he got a job. I can't remember. He's one in the back doors doing the cleaning. When new stuff comes in, they take a look at it and all that. So he told me some secrets on some secret doors that they have there that people aren't allowed unless you're a worker there. So they do have hidden stuff at that museum that the public cannot see. But regardless, so he was living there at the time. So on let me see here. So May 14th, we going to Gettysburg. We're driving to Gettysburg. There's the open field. There's these tents up. All these tents, like a reenactment, but not the war reenactment. This wasn't like soldiers, the North fighting the South. A lot of reenactment you see. This was like medical. And there's like the North and the South wounded people on the ground. So we get out of the car, we're like, wow, this is awesome. And a reenactment, you know? But it was, like I said, it wasn't a fighting one. It was like, I don't know, medical stuff. So we get out. Now, this first part, my brother has a different memory of this because these ladies came up wearing the outfits with these like buckets. Like, did you bring bread to the feast? I guess if you go, you're supposed to bring something to part of the feast. My brother thinks it wasn't bread. He said it was, I can't remember if he said it was beer or something else, but we have a different memory of what they asked. I mean, directly to me, I remember bread. He remembers something else. That's a different story in itself, really. So, we, we're playing along. So we're like, oh, the bread got knocked down and then the horses stepped on it. So we're just, having fun with the reenactment because this was the coolest thing. They have all these booths and they have all these like people with soldier bodies, like they're carrying it to these tents overhead.
Like an infirmary.
And they had all these old tools, rusted tools and all that. And then this one like tent area, they had these big boiling pots and they were boiling horsehair.
Really?
We're like, and we're like, boiling horsehair? Because they go, and the reason they're boiling horsehair and they're boiling products because when people would get shot or get killed and they get sold, their body was getting affected. And they ran out of string because of all the killings of the battlefields going on. So they cut horsehair. Now, to use horsehair, they have to boil it to get it soft. They can't just use horsehair. And when they learn when they're boiling, when they were using this on their bodies, the infections have dropped. So that's where they learned that burning equipment kills germs. Because they were just basically feeding germs when these soldiers were getting shot.
Oh, they used to put their bare hands in the wounds, plug them and everything. Yeah, they didn't know any better.
They didn't know any better, and they learned it like through horsehair. So we're like learning all this, and they had like this bonfire. We're all sitting there, and we're just there. In theory, in our minds, we're there like 3-4 hours, and the weirdest things were like, man, is it? Because is everybody in Frederick stay in church like 4 or 5 hours? Because we were like the only ones that were wearing regular clothes.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, are we technically not allowed to be out here? We must have, because they would have kicked us out if we weren't. So we were there. My brother was talking to one of the doctors resting, rolling their little cigarettes and telling us about the big battles, and there's another big battle over the hill. So in an hour or so, there's going to be a rush of bodies that are coming in and all that. And, they're getting ready. So we're there just having a great time, but still nobody No regular other president. That was just a little strange. So after 4 or 5 hours, we had a great time. We're like, hey man, thanks a lot for doing this. This is so fun. It's like, they're kind of looking at us funny, like, we're like, man, a reenactment of the medical stuff. I mean, what are the chances of that? Okay, so we left. So we're driving back. Now the first strange part of this story was we got there like at 8 a.m. and we know for a fact we felt like we were there 4 or 5 hours. I know there's a few times that I looked at the watch. When we left, we get back to Frederick. It's like 30 miles away. Look at our watch. Like we're only gone 30 minutes. 30, 40 minutes. This is no lie. We're like 30, 40 minutes. Like, wow. It felt a lot longer than that. We're at fire pit, talking to them, learning on the horsehair, the medical stuff. I mean, it's like, there's no way we were just there 40 minutes. But regardless, okay, whatever. Now, my brother, it was a Sunday. So my brother went back to work on Monday. He was talking to some workers like, me and my brothers just went to this reenactment in Gettysburg. What reenactment? There was no reenactment at Gettysburg. Yeah, we were there. My brother's like, no, we were there. There were people dressed up. And they're like, if there's a reenactment, they usually call us because we have stuff that we can deliver there that we have here at the Smithsonian for reenactments and stuff. So that's why the Smithsonian's.
Oh, that's right. Your brother worked at the Smithsonian.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, and they said there was nothing. And my brother goes, dude, they told us there was no reenactment. So we're looking it up like, what do you? Come on, it's got to be a reenactment. We looked at everything, and there was no records of any reenactment. And this was a big field. I mean, somebody would have noticed. So the next week we thought, well, we got to go ask somebody. So we go back into town like a few days later that night, driving back and ask a few words. So we're pretending like we're like, hey, that was a fun reenactment that was there. There was no reenactment. The whole town would know it. The whole town gets involved. Somehow, and I know it's crazy it sounds. I know it's crazy how it sounds. But everybody in that town, not everybody in town, we didn't talk to everybody, but few places that we went to said there was no reenactments. There was nobody out there doing medical stuff. And you look at the records, there was nothing. And I got to tell you, the reason it's hard to talk about because it's one thing to, I don't know how you explain it. If you see like a ghost lightly, that's easier to talk about. But when something is so fucking real looking, I mean real, kind of like when I had that when I was at the hospital, when I saw this body went into the elevator and just disappears. Like it was so real looking in your mind. You're like, there's no way that just happened. So like, yes, there's just no freaking way. But till this day, nobody, they said nothing happened out there. Nothing. And I still remember seeing the two ladies with the baskets.
I wish you would have got pictures because that would have been awesome. Some shots.
You know what? God, since 2006. I don't know. I can't remember. Does cameras have phone? Phone cameras were common yet? I don't know.
The flip phone, at least.
Yeah, like that was flip phone time. Yeah, StarTAC and stuff like that.
Blueberries. I think blueberries were there. The type.
Oh, not blueberry. What were they called?
Blackberries.
Burberry. Oh, Blackberry. Yeah, that's
Blackberries. Blueberry sounds better though. You know something? I didn't realize because Gettysburg, that's less than 2 hours from me, and the ones that Cynthia mentioned, the Harper's Ferry and the other battlefield, is like the Harper's Ferry is 1 hour and 10 minutes from me. I think I'm gonna check that out and go do something. Now I have the power, not the power. I have the ability to stream. I don't know if you're finished. Let me not interrupt your story. Go ahead, Eric.
No. I mean, that's basically the end of the story. I know that's crazy. How crazy that it sounds, but I'm telling you, something happened there, and in my mind, it had to be real. But people saying nothing happened, and it was just, and so there's two things that happened. A time lapse of, we know it felt like we're there 4 to 5 hours, but 30 minutes to 40 minutes, no way. And then something looks so fucking real in your brain. I still can't determine ghosts because it looks so fucking real.
Did you smoke, you and your brother?
I actually, Ron, I have never smoked cigarettes in my life.
No, I don't mean cigarette.
And I'm not a pot smoker.
Okay. So then you were trying to tell us you were doing a couple bumps to the old Scadolis, right?
No. Well, you got to also remember, I just moved out there, and when you take a job at a cable company, the first thing you do, you get drug tested, and if you get any kind of an accident, you take drug tests. So drugs is something that's not, I won't do that with that kind of job, because I know a lot of people who lose their jobs just because, remember, back then even marijuana was still against the law.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it's against the law in Pennsylvania now, but
pretty much legal everywhere now. I don't know about work-wise, operating machinery and stuff like that, you know.
But even like marijuana, you can buy it here in this state, but still, if you smoke it on the job, you get caught with that in your system while you're working, you're fired. You know, that's still technically, it's still a federal offense, even though states might allow it. You can still get arrested federally,
Mike?
Technically, and all that.
Yeah, it's state ordinance, not federal.
So I guess you could say that was an incident, and my nephew said he saw a ghost, but you know, it's no, you can't. What did she say? No, you can't smoke and drive. But that was one of the most strangest things in my life, because, like I said, when something looks too real, it can't be real. You know what I mean? It's just,
you may have walked into something totally unexplainable, Eric. You know
that
you may have witnessed something that many people have to witness.
I believe you. I can't just sit here and just say, you're full of it, because I know I've had things happen to me.
Me too.
Like the Hat Man thing, I didn't talk about for years, and even other UFO ones, because I don't have no proof of it. So I never talked about it really. And the Hat Man one, I was nervous of that thing. So, but
and it felt too real.
Weird stuff that happens. So, like, who am I to say, you're full of
even me, like missing 5 hours of time, and I thought I was just there for a few minutes. Then I snap out of it, and the sun's going down, and my parents were like, "We walked past this spot so many times. You were not here." My parents were telling me, and Danny said, "Time slip." Yeah,
what's
something
also
weird
weird
like that.
is few of the moments there. My brother and I had different memories of certain moments. Like, she offered bread. He said she offered something else. Like, it's just weird. But I'm gonna show a new toy that I got for my paranormal investigations.
Does it wiggle?
I got my
Satellite phone.
EMP. So basically, you get a green light here, and apparently, even if I'm not looking at it where the numbers go up, the green light will start to blink if there's a fluctuation. So I got myself my EMP because I am private. I'm not gonna tell people where I'm going this Sunday morning. This Sunday morning, I'm going out on a paranormal investigation.
Nice. You know, I found it's so weird you just did that, because I just put my stuff together before. Remember the stuff I picked up for Anthony? That's so weird that you're showing those two items, because I just put my EMF reader and my little recorder right over here.
Come on.
A little while ago. That's so crazy. And I haven't seen it for months. Like, I haven't touched it for months.
You got a nice little digital recorder, Ron. He's got a nice
I'm sure
one.
his is better than mine.
He's got a nice one, Ron.
You know what's sad is what's sad about this? Not really sad. Of course, you guys know my birthday was on Monday, and the only gift, it's sad, that I received on my birthday is what I bought myself.
Wow,
the only gift. Not even my kids got me a gift.
No, come on.
No, they did it. They did it. But I don't blame him. Listen, there were so many things going on. I just had surgery. So, you know. But
well, did they annoy you that day? If they didn't annoy you,
actually,
take
the
that as a gift.
day that I left the hospital, we actually got a hotel room just to recoup a whole day because I didn't want to come back to the house right after surgery and then my English bulldog runs right into my leg.
No, they're so dopey.
Because those dogs, so small, they get so happy and they wiggle like a bulldog, like a bull.
Happy birthday, Eric. There you go, buddy.
You didn't have to do that, but it's cool. But
now everybody in the chat follow my lead.
Well, I hope everybody enjoyed the show today with the Gettysburg videos. And I know, like I said, the story sounds weird, but it's something that till this day that it's so fucking real. You tell yourself it couldn't have happened, but there's no evidence of it ever happening. And I don't know. It really flips you like a rabbit hole. You know what I mean? Just how, kind of like Ron, you're saying, your hat man, like it couldn't have not happened, but it did happen.
Yeah.
Scary
and with that
shit.
girl that lived downstairs from me, Kelly, to tell me it happened to her at the same time, same night, just bugged me out even more. So that's what made it go from a dream to some sort of reality or something like that because of her.
And beyond that, I want to show what's going on today. Now, Ron, I know Anthony has a show today, my time, 4 p.m. You usually have a show sometimes at 4 p.m. too, right?
No, at 7 p.m. That's tonight, the weekend warm-up.
So yours.
You're on at
I got it. So technically, it's 7 o'clock. No, hold on, because this is showing 4 o'clock my time.
I didn't know Anthony does a show on Fridays.
I don't. It was supposed to be tomorrow, but we had to reschedule for tonight. It was supposed to be 8 o'clock tonight, and then we had to change it to 7.
And this is the fireman guy, right?
Too, so I'll see you all tonight.
It doesn't matter.
I don't give a shit. I really don't.
And that's the fireman guy.
That's Andrew Razowitz, yeah.
And then on Ron, when I wanted to ask you real quick, because you had a kick-ass show right here on this one.
Oh, with Jim, yeah.
With
fucking great.
Space Talk Belize Expedition with Jim Goldot. Was that everything you expected to when you heard him tell what happened out there?
No, there's a lot more. The problem is they're filming a documentary out
A documentary.
So there's a lot of stuff that wasn't included in that.
Because you can't, because it would kind of ruin the documentary in a lot of ways.
So I basically got what they felt. Go ahead, share this stuff. But there's a lot of stuff they didn't share. I mean, he talked to me about a lot of stuff, but I understand that. I respect it. It is, I guess I would do the same thing. You know what I mean?
And I'm sure if he's with the team, he probably had to sign something. Everybody did that, not to say too much.
NDA?
No, definitely. And they probably, when he got back and with all the data, they all probably had to send their data to the guy that's producing everything and just say, hey, send me all your stuff and everything. So Jim probably has some other personal ones that he sent, but I understood that 100%. I knew that probably a couple of weeks in, I already knew when I knew that they were going to do documentaries, I knew I wouldn't be getting some super outstanding stuff, but it was still pretty cool stuff that he showed.
Look at this. Laura's going to meet Jim Goodall next week.
In person?
Must be in person, right? Because why would you write that?
Maybe on one of the shows she does.
Oh. That's cool. And isn't Jim also eventually coming to Seattle too? I know you talked about that in the past on your channel.
Didn't he say he used to live in Seattle? Isn't that what it was?
I heard him say he did, but I thought I heard him
Vegas. Spaced Out Radio then, right, Lara? The SOR Vegas, probably.
Oh, is he going on Spaced Out Radio?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Well, beyond that, I hope everybody enjoyed today's show on Gettysburg. And I would love if anybody had Gettysburg footages, posters, pictures, whatever, email myself, Anthony, show us. We'll show it on air. We would love to hear more stories about Gettysburg because of all the
I
death.
haven't seen anything new on Gettysburg. Like when you look, I haven't seen any new footage. Every time I see it, it's those cannons or a couple ghost ones. It's usually all the same ones. We should plan to go out there and film something new.
Yeah, well, like I said, Ron found out he's only about 2.5 hours away.
2 hours from him. It's like 2 hours and a half from me too.
Yeah, no, it's the other one. It's because remember I'm northern like that. It's probably like an hour and a half. Like that's real close.
You're that close to Gettysburg?
Yep. And I just found this space now that I have the ability to stream, like outdoor wherever I am, like that. I found the place that's over here, Portal 3. That's where I'm going to be going soon to film the skies. That's why I did a test in South Carolina to see if I have the ability, if I could stream. And now that I got it, so now I have a place, because where I'm at over here, not about a couple miles away, is a Portal 4, but about 15 miles away, it's a Portal 3 I'm going to go to.
The most beautiful place I ever went to film stars was up in Lake Wallapoompak. I've never seen stars like that in my life, man.
Yeah.
Never.
That's
nothing
how
like
look.
that.
Because Portal 3, obviously below that is insane. Like the 2 and a 1, that's like Grand Canyon stuff where you don't have a single light or something like that.
There were so many stars in the sky, your brain couldn't even comprehend how many stars you were looking at. It was like crazy.
I'm just timing it with the moon, making sure the moon's not going to be up.
I got screwed the other night with that when we had that lunar eclipse. I went out to film, and you can't film when the moon's bright like that. With night vision, it whitewashes you out. You just
everything
can't get nothing.
Yep.
And I'll explain a couple things coming down the pike. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday is the night that I'm gonna premiere the next chapter in the cartoon. And a trailer is actually be created to be broadcast on Long Island's Bigfoot, one of his shows next week, to show a little trailer of what's coming up on next Sunday. So that's being worked on. And there's a lot of things that we're all working on. Since the surgery, of course, I've only been doing shows on Mondays and Fridays. And sometimes I used to upload some shows during the week. I haven't been doing that lately because I had a lot of things, but now going back to normal, there's a lot of things I'm putting together. Here's this stuff here is during my, Mary Island incident, looking for,
a boat?
Yeah, there's actually a boat crash right there on the side. So I got a lot of footages that I'll be putting together. This is part where in this area where you see here is the area where if you believe the story that the Mary Island has crashed on this island. So I'm just showing people that I got a lot of stuff that I'm working on too. Footages, cameras. So there's going to be a lot more stuff. And now I'm getting better and better and better. The surgery, I'm going to be going on a lot more type of private investigations. Like I said, this Sunday morning, I'm taking off to do a paranormal investigation. Can't run yet. Can't run, but I'm getting around more. So you guys are going to start seeing a lot more investigations kind of like this. Then the week after, so this weekend, I'm going on the paranormal investigation by myself. Actually, my wife's filming. No groups, hate to say this, no freaking groups in Seattle wants me to join their paranormal team. So you know what? Fuck them all. I'll have my own team. Even though it's by myself, I'm serious. None of them. They're all freaking bastards.
You don't know now one channel that is out in Seattle?
Every paranormal investigation group I call them and say, hey, I'd like to go out. Nope. So you know what? Screw them all. They could kiss my ass. I'm sorry to be that angry, but fuck them. And then a couple weeks, I'm going to be going into the Olympic Mountains to some of the supposedly hot spots of the Bigfoot. So you're going to be seeing a lot of footages like this coming down the pike. So just
Are those the woods that you filmed that little clip for me that time behind?
Yeah, that's part of it. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that I'm doing that I'm working on. I got some main footage that's only meant for you, Anthony, because you know the project behind that scenes. But I'm going on a lot more projects like that. You know, it got to a point where all these groups that's supposed to be in your area, you know, I ain't waiting for them. They don't want me to join them. They can fuck themselves. I'm gonna do my own stuff.
For what? For just a one-time paranormal hunt?
No, I'm gonna go on a lot more. I'm going certain areas.
The groups don't want you to go with them because it's a one-time paranormal hunt.
No, they don't want. Well, I asked if I could join. You know, I want to go on several. They said no. I said, well, can I go on one? They say no. So they say no to it all. Almost every group that I called. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I'm not making claims, but it feels like to me these groups are buddy systems, and I'm not saying they're lying or falsifying. Maybe they don't want somebody on the outside that looks like they're going to come in and maybe like debunk them or something. I don't know. I can't say that because, you know, on our shows, we want the truth. Maybe they don't want that kind of people. I'm not making claims, but
maybe they just,
we're in Seattle. I'm in the North Seattle. Well, you're in the cool air. You're in the North. I'm in the South. I live in a town where the Mary Island incident, Des Moines, that's the town that's in the South. So the North is actually, guys, the North Seattle is actually the better place to live than the South. I'm not afraid to say that. The South, I like the South, but the North is a lot more expensive.
That's a good idea. Listen, what Dina said, start your own. That's what I would do.
That's exactly what I'm doing. I said, fuck it. I'm just going to do things on my own. And then I'll probably put out, like, if somebody wants to join my group, they can.
That shouldn't be difficult.
No, it's sad that a lot of these groups, they're really keep to themselves. They don't want any outsiders in. It is what it is, you know. So beyond that, I hope everybody enjoys today, and we'll see everybody next time on the Paranormal Highway. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. I love you all. I'm getting my equipment ready. This is just a little extra bonus for you guys. Getting my equipment all ready. This is my speaker for this Sunday.